Come here. Bring all of it. Not just the presentable parts. Not just the healed version, the grown version, the parts you have worked through and integrated and can speak about with equanimity from the other side. Bring the parts that are still tender, the parts that are still in process, the parts that, when they come up, still have the quality of something that is not fully done, still have the particular weight of something you are carrying rather than something you have set down. Bring all of it here. It is all welcome. Take a breath that makes room for everything you are. Stay. I want to talk to you about your history. Not to process it or examine it or find the lesson in each difficult moment. I want to talk to you about what your history has actually done to you. Not in the way the damage narrative describes what difficulty does, not in the language of what was broken or wounded or taken from you, but in the other way, the way that the damage narrative consistently misses, the way that is actually the most accurate description of what has occurred. Your history has been building you, not metaphorically, literally. The specific things you have moved through, the losses, the failures, the betrayals, the seasons of sustained difficulty, the moments of profound disappointment, the relationships that ended badly, the versions of yourself you had to release, the identities you had to give up, the futures you had to mourn. All of it has been doing something that is the direct opposite of what the damage narrative describes. It has been adding to you, constructing you, building, through the specific materials of your specific experience, a consciousness that is more complex, more deep, more capable, more wise than the consciousness that existed before any of it happened. Let me be precise about the mechanism, because understanding the mechanism is what transformed the relationship with the past from wound to resource. Psychological research on what is sometimes called post-traumatic growth. The genuine positive changes in understanding, character, and capacity that occur in people who have moved through significant difficulty consistently shows that the people who demonstrate the most significant expansion following hardship are not the people who were least affected by the hardship. They are, in many cases, the people who were most deeply affected by it, who engaged with it most honestly, who allowed it to work on them most completely, rather than defending against it most successfully. The depth of the impact is not the measure of the damage. It is frequently the measure of the transformation. This is not the same as saying difficulty is good, or that the things that hurt you should be welcomed, or that there is always a silver lining in sufficient view. Some things that happen are genuinely terrible, and their genuinely terrible quality deserves honest acknowledgement. The alchemy I am describing is not the denial of the difficulty. It is the accurate recognition of what the difficulty actually produced, in addition to whatever it cost. Because what it produced is real. Think about the specific things you have moved through, not the ones you can easily frame as valuable learning experiences. The ones you can see clearly in retrospect were worth it in some legible way. Think about the harder ones, the ones where the cost was real and significant and the benefit has been harder to name. The relationship that ended in a way that genuinely hurt and left marks. The period of financial difficulty that changed your relationship with security in ways that have not all been comfortable. The loss that is still loss, that you still grieve in some form, that did not transform into a gift on any clear timeline. What did those things actually do to you? Look honestly. Not for the lesson, not for the silver lining, not for the redemptive narrative that makes the difficulty acceptable in retrospect. Look for what is actually there. What is there is frequently something unexpected, a quality of depth that was not present before, a specific, particular understanding of certain aspects of human experience that is only available from the inside of those aspects that no amount of observing or studying or being told about could have produced. An empathy that is not the performed empathy of someone trying to understand another person's experience from the outside, but the genuine, cellular, first-hand empathy of someone who has been in similar territory and knows what it is actually like. A quality of resilience. Not the hardened resilience of someone who has shut down the parts that can be hurt, but the more genuine resilience of someone who has been genuinely hurt and discovered, through the experience of surviving the hurt, that they can survive things they did not know they could survive. The specific, earned, unshakable confidence that comes from having moved through something that seemed unsurvivable and finding yourself on the other side of it. A quality of clarity. The particular clear yet vision of someone who has lost the things that were not genuinely theirs, the identities that did not actually fit, the relationships that were not genuinely nourishing, the directions that were not genuinely aligned, and found in the space that opened after the loss, a clearer view of what is actually true, what is actually important, what they actually want, as opposed to what they thought they wanted before the difficulty removed the option of having it. A quality of compassion. For others, yes, but also for yourself. The hard-won, experience-based compassion of someone who knows, from the inside, how difficult it is to be a human being navigating a genuinely complex life. How much courage it takes to keep going. How much deserves to be met with kindness rather than criticism. All of these things. The depth, the resilience, the clarity, the compassion, are qualities you now possess that you did not possess before the difficult things happened. They are yours. They live in you. They are available to you in every situation you face, as capacities rather than as liabilities, as resources rather than as wounds. The difficult things did not only take from you, they also gave. And what they gave is some of the most significant material in the construction of the person you currently are. Your history is your power. Not because everything that happened was good. It was not all good. Not because the difficult things should be celebrated. They should not all be celebrated. But because you moved through them, and the moving through them produced something real and significant and genuinely yours that is now part of you in a way that cannot be undone. The betrayal made you someone who understands betrayal from the inside. That understanding is not only pain, it is also wisdom. The specific, precise, non-theoretical wisdom that only lived experience produces. The wisdom that allows you to recognize the signs more clearly, to navigate the territory with more skill, to support others who are in that territory with the particular quality of presence that only comes from having been there yourself. The loss made you someone who understands what loss actually is, who does not have to pretend or project or approximate, who knows. And knowing from the inside is a form of depth that transforms every relationship with another person who is in loss, who provides simply through the quality of your presence, something that intellectually assembled understanding never can. The failure made you someone who knows what failure feels like and has discovered that it does not end you. That knowledge is not a small thing. That knowledge, the specific, earned, experiential knowledge that you can fail and survive, that failure is survivable, that the worst-case scenario of attempting something and not succeeding is not annihilation. That knowledge frees you to attempt things that the person who had not yet survived failure would not attempt. Your history has not made you damaged. It has made you equipped. Not in every way. There are areas where the history has installed limitations that require work to understand and release. The work of this kind of inner development is real and necessary, and not finished simply because you have survived the difficult things. But the overall orientation is wrong when it is oriented primarily toward what the past cost you. When the story of your history is primarily a story of damage to be healed rather than of construction to be recognized. You have been built, through everything that happened, into someone with specific, valuable, irreplaceable capacities that did not exist before the building. That person, The fully constructed, experience-seasoned, genuinely depth-possessing person that your history has produced is extraordinarily capable. More capable than you know. More equipped for the life ahead than the story of what the past cost you allows you to recognize. Your history is not your wound. It is your resource. What you have survived is your power. Claim it.